Hi, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Nick Cosgrove, and I am back with my coaching reality series called From a Coach's Perspective. Today, I want to talk about the top 5 reasons as to why people miss their workouts. Now, what I'm referring to are legit reasons as to why people miss their workouts, not bullshit excuses as I slept in, I'm hungover, I forgot it was my session, I forgot my gym clothes. None of those BS excuses. I want to give legitimate excuses as to why people miss the gym. And hopefully, by watching today's episode, if you yourself are someone who's having a hard time staying consistent with your workouts because of any of these reasons, I can help troubleshoot, help through you through these problems, okay? Because they're fairly common problems for a lot of people, especially people who do work anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day. They've got kids, they've got social obligations, right? They've got, maybe work functions to attend to after work. So there's usually legit reasons as to why these people miss the workouts, and they're not doing it intentionally. The problem is, though, when you start missing one workout, it turns to two workouts, turns to five workouts, turns to 1 month, 3 months, and so on, right? So we want to try to get back on track and stay as consistent as possible with the workouts. So I want to give you the top 5 reasons why I believe people miss their workouts after doing this job for 20 plus years. And if there's any that you yourself have to add to this list, put them in the comments below because I'd love to hear them. And yeah, if we can help people like stay on track with their workouts, that'd be even better, right? All right. So number one reason why people miss their workouts. They treat their workouts like a non-negotiable. Now, I talked about this briefly on the No Filter Q&A earlier this week. I had a client reach out to me, say, how do you fit your workouts in when there's so much going on in a day? I've got work functions to attend to. I've got meetings. I've got to take the kids to soccer. I'm like, listen, you have to treat your workout as if it's just as important as a meeting with a client. Okay. You have to treat your workout like it's just as important as a event with your kid. All right. You have to turn it into a non-negotiable. So the way I always tell my clients is, look, you've got 24 hours in a day. All right. A 45-minute to 60-minute workout is going to take up 5% of that day. All right. So for you to fit that in, you can program it somewhere, whether that means you have to wake up an hour earlier, or maybe that means you have to go to bed an hour later. You can find some time in your day to get that workout in, but you have to treat it like a non-negotiable. So what I mean is put that in your schedule. So if you're someone like me who I go by my schedule day to day because my schedule changes day by day. All right. But when I go to bed at night, or right before I go to bed, I'll look at my schedule and I'll go, okay, looks like tomorrow I'm working from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I talked about on the Q&A, like I don't like to work out at night. So I'm not someone who my body clock does not like to train at 7:30 at night, does not work for me. So I'm a morning person. So what I'm going to do is if I'm working at 6 a.m. on the floor of clients, I'm going to make sure I get to my gym at about 4:45 so I can fit in a quick workout and a shower. All right. Which means I'm going to have to get up at 3:45, which means I'm going to have to go to bed maybe an hour or two earlier. But I do it because that's the only time in my day that I can get my workout in. So I'm turning my workout into a non-negotiable. That workout is just as important as my sessions with my clients or any meetings I have with my accountant, my financial advisor, my realtor. I treat that workout just as important. All right. One is not more important than the other. So because of that, because it's in my schedule, I'm not going to screw around. All right. It's the same thing. I always tell people, I'm like, if you were getting paid to work out, you probably wouldn't miss your workouts, right? Because very rarely do people miss, I mean, some people miss a lot of work, but very rarely do people miss days upon days of work, right? You're getting paid to work. So you need to go. That's your livelihood. So you have to treat your workouts like it's your livelihood. You're doing this for your body. You're doing this for your health. So because of that, you have to commit to the process. All right. So by just implementing that workout into your schedule, treating it like a non-negotiable, not giving yourself any excuses to miss that workout, hit the snooze button. Oh, I don't feel good. Oh, all this BS excuses that you can give yourself, reasons to talk yourself out of going to the gym. You have to treat it like a non-negotiable. Treat it like a work meeting with a client. Treat it with like an event with your kid, whatever you have to treat it like, but make sure that it becomes a non-negotiable. This is crucial. If you develop that mindset, you're not going to miss your workouts. All right. Reason number two, they rely on motivation instead of structure. Now, I've been talking about this quite a bit lately about how it's not that people lack the motivation, they lack the structure. Anyone can get motivated. You could hire a trainer, you could hire a coach, they could give you a diet plan, nutrition plan. You're motivated, you're good to go. You're watching YouTube motivational videos, inspirational videos, whatever. You're motivated. That's great. But that motivation does not stay with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Impossible. All right. No, no one's motivated 24 hours a day. So what happens when you don't have that motivation to get up at 4:45 in the morning and go to the gym? What happens when you don't have that motivation to meal prep as opposed to just ordering from Uber Eats? What happens when you don't have that discipline to have your chicken and rice instead of having that burger and fries? Okay, so you're not going to be motivated 24 hours a day. And that's why it's important to develop a strategy and have structure in your life. So you want to make sure that your meals are planned ahead of time so that you don't cheat on your diet. You want to make sure that your workouts are scheduled into your phone so that you don't miss this training session, right? If it takes another thing with like supplements, vitamins, minerals, I always tell my clients because a lot of my clients they miss. They're like, oh, I forgot to take my vitamin C, my omega 3s. I'm like, listen, put it out in the morning so it's on your kitchen counter when you're making your cup of coffee or whatever you're doing. Have it out there. All right. So you're not scrambling in the morning looking for your vitamins, trying to prep your food. Get everything ready ahead of time. Have structure in your life. All right. So the more structure you have, the easier the process becomes. It's no longer a daily struggle to get to the gym and have your meals prepped on time and take all your supplements and your vitamins. Everything's laid out. For me, when I wake up in the morning, what I'm going to wear that day is already laid out. I have it ready to go. I have it on my counter, so I know exactly what I'm wearing. It's all set up. I actually make my breakfast beforehand, so I like to have my oatmeal cold, so I'll make it at night and I'll have it in the morning, so that's already prepared. I heat up 2 or 3 meals in a day in the microwave while I'm getting ready. Those are my meals for the day, and I'm good to go. That's it. From the time I wake up to the time I leave, it takes me about 30 minutes. I understand some people need a little longer, and that's fine. But if you need longer, structure it in. Okay. So if everything's structured, you're not scrambling and you have a game plan. So don't rely on motivation because motivation will only get you so far. All right. Even if you have a trainer or a coach, listen, I have got tons of clients, but I'm not with them 24 hours a day. I hold them accountable for their workouts and their nutrition plan, but I'm not with them to make sure they eat every meal. I'm not with them to make sure they do every workout, especially my online clients. So they have to have a little bit of self-discipline and they have to have that self-motivation that's and knowing that it's not always going to be there. And that's where structure comes into place. So have a game plan. Always have a game plan. If you don't, you're going to most likely fail. All right. Reason number three, their plan isn't clear. I constantly talk about the importance of setting SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goals. This is so important. If you don't have a goal, you're wandering around aimlessly. Every time I've set myself up to do something, I have a goal. And I'm not worried if I don't accomplish that goal, but it's a goal in mind. I want to try my best to accomplish that, whether that's buying my penthouse, whether that's winning a bodybuilding show, whether that's making sure that I have everything structured in place for my business, whatever that goal is, I do everything I possibly can to put myself in the best position to achieve that goal. I have never, sorry, I shouldn't say, there's been goals I haven't achieved yet, but I constantly strive to achieve those goals. So I set goals. And here's another thing is when you achieve one goal, you should be setting another goal. You should be constantly setting goals. They don't always have to be fitness related. They can be financially related. They can be in your personal life, but you need to have a goal. You need to have a plan. All right. Because if you don't have a goal in mind, you don't have a plan, you're wandering around aimlessly. And I see this in the gym all the time. I see people walking into the gym, kind of making up their workout on the fly. I'm like, what are you doing? And I talk about that. You've heard that saying, there's no such thing as a bad workout. And I always say, no, that's not true. There's a lot of shitty workouts. I see them all the time. And I'm like, you're not going to get results from doing random workouts. You're not. People say, well, it's better than nothing. I'm like, not really. Not really. No, it's not because you're not doing anything. You need to go to the gym with a plan. All right. And yeah, sometimes that plan will change slightly. Like, for example, let's say you're going to be training chest and you want to do a barbell press, but all the barbells are taken at the moment. Well, that's fine. Do some dumbbell presses, but you're still going to work chest. You're not going to say, well, I can't do chest now, so maybe I'll just do some biceps. That doesn't make sense. You went in with a game plan to train chest, so you train chest. All right. Because when you're visualizing the workouts, you're visualizing what you're going to do in the gym. What angles am I going to hit? What weight am I going to use? Right? What exercises am I going to do? What alternative exercises am I going to do if something's in use? So I'm not just standing there waiting for something. Okay. So always have a plan and always have a goal. Because if you have a goal, then you need a plan to achieve that goal. You can't just have a goal and say, oh, I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30, and you have no plan on how you're going to do that. You have to have a plan, right? So you would set up something with a financial advisor. You would say, okay, I'm going to invest this much into my RSPs, this much into my TFSAs. I'm going to do this much in my financial, in my investment portfolio, whatever it may be, put something in place. Okay. From there, anytime you do anything in life, whether it is, like I said, financially related, fitness related, personally related, whatever it is, if you have a plan and you try to execute that plan to the best of your ability, you're most likely going to achieve that goal. Okay. So, my number one thing I always tell clients is have a goal, have a specific goal. So have that SMART goal again, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goal, and have a game plan in place to achieve that goal. Every single person I work with, the first question I ask them when they come to work with me, what's your goal? All right, I'm going to help you set up a plan for this goal, but we need to follow this plan almost to a T. Sometimes the plan, it changes a little bit. We come off course a little bit, but we get back on. All right, because life's not perfect. Sometimes people do, they get sick, they get caught in meetings, whatever it is. But as long as we can stay course and we're not going backwards, we're going forward, we're going to put ourselves in the best position to achieve that goal. All right. Reason number four, they overcommit themselves to their schedule. All right. Now, this one's super common, especially with my business owners. I've got a lot of people on my roster who are business owners, successful business owners. And I mean, these people are working crazy hours. I talked about this last week on a Q&A, how got some of my clients, their work ethic, I mean, they put me to shame. These people are like working 18, 20-hour days. But I always tell them, like, listen, that's great that you're making all this money. And that's great that your business is successful. But if your health starts to deteriorate, what's all that money going to do? What's all that success going to do when you're 65 and you're having all these health issues, right? Whether they're heart issues, whether you're having physical issues, whether it could be physical limitations, you have constant chronic back pain, hip pain, whatever it may be. All right. So what's your quality of life? You have all this money, but you're not healthy. So that's where it goes back to reason number one. You have to turn that workout into a non-negotiable. And for my clients who are super busy, I always say, you have to put that into your schedule, that workout into your schedule. And a lot of my clients, the ones who are really successful, the business owners, what they tend to do is they have actually made sure that their workouts are non-negotiable. So when they schedule a 60-minute workout with me, their assistant, they'll look at the schedule and go, no, that time slot's blocked out. And no matter what, it doesn't change. I mean, every like few months they might need to change it on a last minute, like because something's come up, but that's rare because to them, if someone's training with me at let's say 8 a.m., I have one client who trains with me 8 a.m. Monday to Friday, never misses a workout. This person is ridiculously busy. They'll work until like 10, 11 o'clock at night, but that 1 hour they never miss. They show up on time, they leave right at 9. And because to that person, their workout is just as important as every other hour in that day to them. And honestly, like it amazes me because that person has taken their mindset that they've applied to business and become incredibly successful and now has applied it to the gym and is becoming incredibly successful at that. Losing body fat, building muscle, more healthy, more fit, feels better, more confident in their body. So if you can apply what you're doing in business, if you're very successful in business to what you can do in the gym, God, sky's the limit, right? So don't overcommit yourself to all these social obligations, all these work obligations. Find a time slot in your day that you can book off for the gym. All right. You have to do it because if you don't, like I said, you're going to miss one workout, three workouts, five workouts a month. I see this time and time again, and people fall off and I don't hear from them for 3 months, 6 months, a year, and they contact me, Nick, I need to get back into shape. No problem. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you. But remember how difficult it is to get back on the wagon. Okay. Because think of it when if you were someone who's ever started fresh in the gym, brand new, think how hard that was just to develop those habits. Go to the gym, feel the soreness every day, not really know what you're doing, right? Get back into a routine. And if you stop training for a month, 3 months to a year, think how challenging it's going to be to get back into that. Okay. And so you don't want that feeling. So I'm not trying to discourage anyone from coming back to the gym. If anything, yeah, get back into the gym. But if you are having a hard time getting back into your routine, definitely hire a coach because that coach is going to hold you accountable. They're going to guide you. They're going to make sure that they can troubleshoot when you hit a plateau or an obstacle. All right. So if you're feeling discouraged, like, oh, I'm so far behind now. I'm like, the longer you wait to get back, the further you're going to fall back. So I always tell people start now. Don't wait until the perfect time. There is no such thing as the perfect time. I put up a YouTube short the other day talking about that. The perfect time does not exist. The perfect time is right now. All right. So get your ass in the gym. Make sure you block off a time slot in your day. I don't care how busy you are, you can find time in your day. All right. And you make sure you stay consistent with your workouts. All right. Because if you're not consistent, you will not be successful. Period. You won't. All right. And reason number five, no accountability. The number one reason why most people hire personal trainers is for the accountability. I've talked about in the past how I've had clients. I have some of my clients that have been with me for 20 years now. Surely they know what they're doing in the gym, right? But they know that without me, they're not going to be going to the gym. They might every once in a while go for a random workout, but the accountability factor is huge. They know that they're going to come into a workout. The workout, first of all, whatever they're training that day, whether it's chest, legs, back, the workout's already set up for them, so they don't have to set it up. It's already there, ready to go. They don't have to wait for random machines. They don't have to deal with other gym members. They train with me at a private training facility, so they have that accountability. But they also have everything set up, ready to go, so they can kind of put themselves on autopilot and just train. Just focus on the workout itself, not focus on, well, I need an alternative exercise here. What weight did I do here? Oh, my back is hurting. What am I going to do here? No, no. Nick's got a game plan for me. I just go in there and I follow what he's told me to do and I leave. They still got to put in the work. I mean, they're doing the hard part, not me. I'm the one that designs the program and I'm coaching them, but the hardest part is actually doing the workout, right? That's the hardest part. So that's for my in-house clients. For my online clients though, I do weekly check-ins where I make their revisions, and twice a week check-ins where they'll send me their fasted weight, and I'll make those revisions based on that too sometimes. So I'm always in contact and communication with my online clients. They know that if someone's working with me for 12 weeks, they can email me every day. I have some neurotic people that do email me every day. And that's fine because I'm their coach. And I understand that for a lot of people, the reason why they hire an online coach is for that accountability factor. So I wouldn't be doing my job if someone emails me on a Tuesday morning at say 6 a.m. and it takes me, till like maybe 6 a.m. the next day to get back to them. That to me is ridiculous. Like usually with my online clients, you ask anyone that works with me online, I usually get back to them within 4 to 5 hours max. Usually within the hour. But if I'm in meetings on the floor, obviously I can't get back to people right away. But the reason I get back to people so quickly is because they need that accountability. And so I treat my online sessions or on my training programs just as important as my in-house training sessions because I understand the reason why a lot of my online clients work with me is for that accountability factor. It's also for my expertise in dietary nutrition and training. However, the accountability is huge. When someone sends me a weekly check-in and they know they got to send me their photos, they've got to send me their weight, and only they know that if they're cheating on their diet, if they're missing their training sessions, because I asked for a whole log of metrics. How many workouts did you get in? How many cardio sessions did you get in? Did you have any additional food that's on your diet? They know that when they answer those questions, I'm going to see that check-in. I'm not going to judge them, but by them recording that themselves, they're like, yeah, I didn't lose weight this week because I missed 3 workouts. I only got one cardio session in and I had 2 cheat meals instead of one. Mystery solved, right? It's not the diet. So it's my job not to judge them. It's my job to help them and say, okay, well, why did you only get 3 workouts in? Let's work on that first. What happened? Why did you only get one cardio session in? Okay, let's try to change this in your schedule. Will work better if we maybe do cardio and your resistance training separate, right? So we troubleshoot. Why did you have 2 cheat meals? Maybe your fats are too low. What are you craving? So working with a good coach, you can communicate with each other and you can troubleshoot as opposed to scolding the person. I never scold anyone I work with, ever. I mean, everyone I work with is an adult. They don't need to be told, do this, do that. They know what to do. I explain what we need to do. And if they don't do it, I'll explain it again. And if they still don't do it, I'll say, okay, well, this is not working. So let's try something else. So we'll look for another plan, another route to take. But I don't get mad at people. And no, because everyone I work with is an adult. There's no reason to get mad at somebody. I'm here to help people. I'm here to coach people. I'm not here to judge you. All right. So that is my job. And I treat it very seriously. All right. So accountability is huge. So if you are someone who is, again, you're missing your workouts, you're not being accountable for your diet, you're constantly ordering from Uber Eats, you're not on top of your supplement protocol, you're not even too sure what vitamins and minerals that you should be taking, and you feel like crap, you're always lethargic, and you're not happy with the way you look, hire a coach. Whether it's in-house or online, hire a coach because the accountability factor is huge. All right. You ask any of my clients who've been with me for 20 plus years, they will tell you that right now. The accountability factor is the number one reason they continue to work with me. All right. Because most trainers, you talk to a lot of trainers and the clients stay with them for maybe a year, maybe 2 years, and then that's it. They're gone. Right. And, some people can do that. Some people, they'll work with a trainer for a bit of time and then they go off on their own and they're okay. I've had people do that. And then they come back to me, they want to learn something new, or they're like, you know what, I kind of did slip off the training wheel and I'm not training as much now. I need your help. Or I'm training every day, but you know what? Now I need help with my diet. Great. I'll help you. Okay. So that's my job. So as a coach, you want to make sure that you're holding your clients accountable. And, again, this is a big one. When I'm working with people online, if I don't get a check-in on Friday, I'm on their ass on Saturday. I'm like, hey, I didn't get your check-in because I want your check-in on Friday. So where is that check-in? I'm knowing me, I'm usually emailing them on Friday night going, hey, I didn't get your check-in, right? So even that right there is like, yeah, I need to send him my check-in. Even though it's not the best week, I still need to do my part and send him my check-in. So the accountability factor is huge. So if you are someone who needs that accountability, hire a coach. If you're on a budget and you can't afford to work with a personal trainer in-house, I understand it. It can be quite expensive. It can add up. Work with an online coach. I mean, my online coaching programs for 12 weeks is like 600 bucks. So, I mean, you have me in your back pocket and it's costing you less than $100 a week. So, I mean, and you can ask me any questions you need to with your diet, your training, your supplementation, and I'm right there to help. Okay, so I mean, talk about a deal. I mean, that's a great cost-effective strategy. It's a lot cheaper than in-house training. I'm not trying to promote or market my own services. I'm just saying, like, if you are on a budget, work with an experienced, knowledgeable trainer online because it can really help make a big difference. What do you have to lose? Anyway, that's it for my top 5 reasons. I don't want to call them excuses because they're valid. They're valid reasons. So we shouldn't say they're excuses. They're valid reasons. Excuses are I'm hungover. I forgot my workout. I forgot my gym shoes. Those are BS excuses, and I've heard those before. But these, in my opinion, are valid reasons as to why people miss their workouts because it's not intentional, right? Maybe some people will say, well, maybe it is intentional, but they don't want to tell you that. I'm like, maybe, but I legit think people actually miss these workouts that they really want to do because of these reasons. And I get it. Life is hectic. It's not perfect. It's not black and white. I'd love to have a black and white lifestyle and wake up at 7:30 in the morning, sleep in, wake up and go to work whenever I want to, go to sleep whenever I want to. That'd be nice, but that's not reality, right? So you have to structure your workouts, get that accountability in place, have a game plan, have a goal. All right. It's crucial. Make your workout a non-negotiable. Anyway, that's it for this week's Coaching Reality. This episode will be going up on Wednesday, April the 22nd. As a reminder, if you have any questions related to your nutritional plan, workout program, supplements you are currently taking, not taking, or considering taking, please feel free to email me those questions at nick@foreverfitperformance.com, or you can DM me your questions on my Instagram at @fitcosgrove_. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I truly do appreciate all the support and feedback. Don't forget to check out my Instagram and as well as my YouTube shorts that I post daily. And again, I really appreciate all the feedback I get on my content, all the likes and all the subscribers. It keeps me motivated to keep doing what I'm doing. And I love this job. So I want to keep educating people as much as I possibly can on their diets, on their training. And as best as I can, I'm going to try to motivate you guys to keep going to the gym. Okay. And if you're working for me, whether it's in-house or online, I'm going to hold you accountable. Anyway, thank you all. And I will see you all next week. Bye for now.